Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I have one question for you. Is the Richelieu still good in 2024? Personally, I've always kind of enjoyed the Richelieu, but it's always been outshadowed by the Jean Bart. The Jean Bart's just better. It's literally a Richelieu, except better in pretty much every way. So personally, if you have the Jean Bart, Richelieu is not worth it. However, if you don't have the Jean Bart, or the La Foudre, whatever it's called, then Richelieu is still a solid ship. Would I put it in the top 5 at the tier? Probably not. But still a fun, unique design ship that allows you to do a lot of things. Now, I do want to say one thing. I hope you guys are enjoying the intros. Obviously, not every ship has a specific song built after it, so I'm just going to grab some, like, copyright-free music. I'm going to try to do something like that for the intro of all these ships. I'm kind of digging it, I ain't gonna lie. And you guys seem to have responded well to it as well. Now, obviously, some of that is because it was Sabaton, and I can't do that every time, because like I said yesterday, I did get a copyright claim, as you'd expect, you're using their music. But got a copyright claim from them, but to Sabaton's credit, it was a copyright claim that just makes you share the revenue. So we will split the revenue for that video. Not that I earn that much anyway, but you know, you can understand why I can't do that for every video. I can't use copyright music because it just ends up costing me money, which is not ideal because this is my job, and if I lose all my money, guess what? I can't do this anymore. So we're gonna try to stick to the copyright-free variety of music. But I thought that was a pretty nice little intro for this particular ship. Feels right anyway. But anyway, back to the Richelieu. So right out the gate, we take a shot at the Charles Martel, and we get some damage, but you can see one of the biggest griefs that this ship has. Now, this ship does struggle in the accuracy department, which usually means that I'm not a particular fan of this ship, right? Like, you guys know, I'm a big proponent of consistency. So why is it that I like this ship compared to a ship like the Bismarck, which has a lot of the same problems? The biggest issue that I have between this and the Bismarck is the consistency. This thing is pretty consistent with its mediocre guns, right? Like, you can fire the guns, and most of the time you know what you're gonna get out of it. The Bismarck is kind of the opposite. Bismarck is, okay, sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's not, and it really struggles. Oh my god. Bonk. Ah! See? Inconsistency of the guns, but we already expect that. This is not a long-range sniper. Okay, we know that. Just like, hello, Jean Bart. How are you? Just like the Bismarck is not a long-range sniper. But the unique thing about this that makes it better, in my opinion, than the Bismarck is that it has AA, first of all, so you can handle those matches instead of getting absolutely obliterated by the AA, or by the planes. You can handle those sorts of matches a little bit better, but it has all of its firepower at the front, meaning you can just stay bow in, point the nose at the bad guy, and just annihilate everything in front of you. And the guns are consistent enough that you're going to be able to tear people up. Now, we only landed 2 shots there. I know that looked like a massive hit, but trust me, it was not. It was not a massive hit. That was two shots, but somebody else hit him at the same time, so it looked way bigger than it was. But we're up to 27,000 damage. The other thing that this thing has is an incredible reload. This thing is reloading every 20 seconds. And this is without having an epic reload mod. Imagine this thing with an epic reload mod. This thing could get to reloading about as fast as a Jean Bart, or close to it. So, pretty nasty. Especially when you're sending 8 rounds of French magic bullets downrange, which we all know. I don't know what it is about the French magic bullets, but they just seem to work. But we know that as we're shooting at the broadside of the Jean Bart, we're moving forward into a position where we can utilize the cap, grab that from the enemy, and we're also getting a little bit of assistance as we push forward. But this Jean Bart, and there's another one as well, they are going to react to us way too slowly. Out of all the ships in the game, you would think a Jean Bart, a fellow French battleship with the exact same sort of configuration, would have a little bit more respect for the Richelieu. Because this ship Because of its speed and ability to get out in front and get those flanking shots and stay bow in and tank very little damage from being bow in, unless of course it's HE spam, but that's a whole other ballgame. You would think that they would be a little bit more respectful of the ship, but they weren't. They just ignored us. And personally, I think that's one of the best characteristics of the Richelieu. People ignore it. I don't know what it is. And it's not just this match, as we finally get a really nice hit there. It's not just this match. People just don't care that the Richelieu exists a lot of times. And here you can see, I don't know where this friendly battleship is going. I guess he has a date with an island over there. But dude is just straight sailing broadside, because broadside is best side. And we're just going to keep chunking these guys. And again, we're not getting a lot of damage per salvo, right? Like, you don't get a lot of damage per salvo out of this thing, unless, of course, you're up close and personal, and people are dumb enough to go broadside. These are still 15-inch guns, so they're not amazing. But, at the end of the day, you throw enough stuff at the wall, some of it's going to stick, right? We're throwing 8 rounds downrange every 20 seconds. And the people that are on the receiving end have still not reacted to it because it's not big hits, right? So the thing is, like, as these hits happen, people are just like, it's whatever, oh, it's a little bit of damage, I can tank it. Before you know it, you can tank it, but you've given up half your hit points to it. Or you get slapped with the big hit where these guns turn into railguns and just land every shell. So you gotta be respectful of these ships. It's a Jean Bart that doesn't have the reload booster. Remember that. That's the biggest difference between this and the Jean Bart, is this does not have the reload booster. But it's still just as nasty as a Jean Bart when it wants to be. So you gotta be careful. But personally, I've always kind of enjoyed the Richelieu if it wasn't for the fact that the Jean Bart exists. Jean Bart is just better. Right? There's no one can argue that. It's just, it is better. But if you don't have the Jean Bart, the Richelieu is not a bad option. And getting up close and personal and constantly reloading these guns and making people look like doofuses for oh my god. Really? Spartan? Really? Oh well. We take the damage, it's fine. But this game is kind of a funny game, because this game gets all kinds of wonky. Like, you can't make up what happens in this game. So we take a shot there at superstructure, land 3 shells into the superstructure, which was surprising. But we're trying to help out our teammate, and you can see the Jean Bart's actually healing right now, so he's going to survive this fire, even though it looks like he's about to go down. So we're going to take another shot to finish him off as we take a hit there. We're going to go ahead and take a shot, finish him off, help free up our teammates. But our teammates are trying to throw this game. They really are. They will do some weird things as this game wraps up that just cause you to shake your head and go, but why? And as we see the lightning out here, watch this shot at the lightning. We're like, okay, he's going to turn, and the island yeets some of our shells, and our shells don't do any damage, unfortunately. But we have the Massachusetts. We also have the other destroyer out there, which I believe is the Oosterjotland. Yeah, as you can see, it is the Oosterjotland. And this is the part where I start to realize, okay, things are not going to go in my favor. But we have a broadside shores, can't pass that up. Even this ship struggles to miss at this range. But unfortunately, we overpinned all 7 shells. We hit 7 out of 8 shells, but overpinned every single one of them because reasons. No armor is best armor in World of Warships. We all know this. It is no. But Shores survives for the moment. He's not long for this world, though. We will finish him off, or he'll get finished by the Bismarck secondaries from nowhere. Then we take a shot across the map to try to help with the Suja, who is yellowing our destroyers. And, of course, we Citadel the Suja, finishing him off. And suddenly the game has started to look a little bit too close for my comfort. We have 2 enemy destroyers in my vicinity. We know that that's going to be a problem. We have a Wichita, which we already talked about. The biggest downside of these ships is the fact that they are very susceptible to HE spam. And having a Massachusetts here with its secondaries, and a Wichita, and 2 gunboat-esque destroyers is not ideal. So we put out the double fire. We have 2 heals left. We are going to have to use some of those heals. You can see I am kind of like trying to like look in the direction to see, because I know the lightning has no hit points. So if we can get a shot at him, we can finish him. And Oosterjotland, we got to get some hits on him as well. We have 3 caps to their 1. Remember that. 3 caps to their 1. So we should not lose this game. Unless people are dumb. And let's be real. Never underestimate the ability of your team to throw the match. Ever. If you can stay alive, do so. Because if you don't, your team will... Oh my god. That is the Richelieu accuracy that we all hate. Right there. We take a shot and it literally goes everywhere except where you aim it. But as you can see, the destroyer gets spotted off our bow. I'm looking for it. I'm like, okay, we got to take the shot, right? Like, we know roughly where he's at. He is moving, unfortunately. But we take the shot hoping to hit him. Because if we hit him, we know he's dead. But unfortunately, we do not manage to hit him. Bismarck manages to take out the Massachusetts. But unfortunately, the Osterjotland managed to take out our Le Fantasque. And that leaves me with a Bismarck and a destroyer versus 2 destroyers and a Wichita. Now, I cannot overmatch a Wichita. Wichita has 27mm bow, just like the Baltimore. Which means my 15-inch guns don't mean crap to a Wichita. You'll see what I end up having to do when I start shooting at the Wichita. So when we shoot at the Wichita, rather than shooting at the bow like you would with, say, an American battleship that has 16-inch guns, because you know you'd overmatch it, what I have to do is aim high and try to hit the superstructure. And then I end up switching over to the high explosive. Not because I'm going to be going up against destroyers, that has nothing to do with it. It's just simply that I'm going to be more likely to do better damage against the Wichita with HE than I would with my armor piercing, especially at these ranges. So here you're going to see I'm paying attention to the torpedoes. I know there are 2 destroyers out here. I know this Wichita's out here. This Wichita seems to be in a defensible position. He's bowing to me and also to our battleship, the Bismarck, who also has the same problem as us, but we get a good hit there, 4,700 damage, and you can see I'm trying to just constantly change what I'm doing to throw off this Lightning's shots, like his torpedoes, because if we don't, like, we're gonna lose this match. Having the ability to have destroyers just running around doing what they want is not gonna go in our favor. However, Wichita staying bowing to me also is kind of throwing his game off too, because he's got to respect me, but he also has to respect the fact there's Bismarck, and if he stays bowing to me, that Bismarck's going to have his broadside. But with me chasing down this destroyer that's out here off my bow, which we know is a Lightning, you can see he does take a shot, and I thought, okay, if he's going to keep shooting, then fine. But he actually shoots right on the edge of his detection range, or his firing range. So once he fires, he ends up going outside of his firing range and going dark immediately. But you can see I'm struggling. The Bismarck is closing in on the cruiser. The destroyer is also closing in on the cruiser. And I have to deal with the fact that there's a destroyer right off my bow that I cannot see. And this is no bueno for anybody, right? You got a prolific fire spammer behind you, you've got a destroyer behind you, you got a destroyer in front of you. We don't know where anybody is, but we can assume that all we got to do at this point is survive, and we win this match. So as long as I play smart and try to get away from this, oh my god, the destroyer's spotted behind us. Spartan, turn the guns! You can see, I'm waiting for this because I know what's going to happen. As soon as I look away, I'm going to end up having the enemy shoot us. Now, the Osterjotland manages to get rid of the Bismarck, which is not ideal. But Osterjotland's also firing his guns at the destroyer. So we're going to take a shot. We have HE already loaded. We've aimed it as best we can. We actually get decent accuracy. Is it going to be the clutch? It is! Down he goes for the Confederate. And the Black manages to take out the Wichita at the same time of getting absolutely yeeted. So it comes down to a 1 versus 1. If I take more than 1 torpedo, I'm dead. If I take 1, it's going to be very close. He gets his shot off. We take the shot and... we completely get screwed by RNG! No! This is the worst possible scenario. Hurry up, slam on the brakes, turn it into hard to port. Please, God, let him overshoot. Yes! He screwed up as well. God, I love when destroyer players launch on the white line. And he's smoked up, but we take the Kraken and the win. You don't get much more exciting than that, folks. You don't. It couldn't get much closer than that. We did everything we could to pull this team and give us the best possible chance. But in the end, it came down to a crapshoot. 131,000 damage Kraken Confederate high caliber dreadnought. 3,100 base XP in the Richelieu. So yes, I think the Richelieu is still a good ship. But if you have the Jean Bart, you've probably never played the Richelieu. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.